Hello and welcome to Light Up, a platform where we get to talk about social issues, but with one primary goal: to help our young people to be more productive, more skilled, soft skills that they can pick that makes them better people, competitive people, and to have an all-round empowerment as citizens. And we use really this platform to kind of exchange and share information, hopefully that it can impact you, and then you can carry it on and use it to benefit your loved ones, especially the young people. And that is really the primary goal. So at the end of the day, if you really like what you see and listen to as an idea, would encourage you to really think more about it, implement it, and then would also ask you to invite other people, share this knowledge with them, and hopefully it will impact them the same way it has impacted you. Ultimately, by the way, we also hope that people can take this information and really have conversations as peers, as parents, that it can help them. Today we are going to talk about the subject of time. This is, for me, a very passionate topic. Time, and how we can help our young people to understand time. Now, usually when I have conversations with young people, I try to ask them about their dreams, their visions, and what they want to achieve in life. Some of them are pretty much solid on what it is that they want to achieve, where they want to go. Others at a stage where they say, I'm not so sure, and that's okay. So I encourage them, hey, it's perfectly fine. Keep dreaming, keep thinking, and as time goes on, you'll really pretty much kind of define where you want to go. And for others, I tell them, look, even when you have a solid vision of where you want to go, should you wake up tomorrow and you're not so sure anymore, don't feel bad about it. It's a natural process. Then think about what it is that now inspires you, that you want to rethink your vision and you want to do something else. And I think particularly for them, it's really an opportune time, and they have this luxury to do this. Why? Because they have time. They're young people. Their whole future is ahead of them. But young people don't naturally wake up to think about time as a very important resource. That is something that we at our level, in our age, we think about. And usually when I try to engage young people and I ask them to try and understand the impact of what time as a resource is, I give them an exercise and I tell them, look, go back home when you're having a conversation with your aunties or your mom or your dad or your relatives, pose a question, just one question. Ask them what they would do if they could have 20 years back of their lives. 20 years, that's all. And when you ask this question, be eager, be a good listener, listen to what they're saying, because in that you're going to see a lot of things that they would want to rewrite, to redo, they would want to go back and change things and the like. And then it will give you an idea of how valuable the resource called time is. But that is not enough for them to appreciate time. It's not very productive when you come to a young person and tell them, hey, you have to make use or good use of your time. Time is very important and the like. It might be a little bit hard for them to contextualize and have a better understanding. So rather what we usually do is we might want to use other approaches. We might want to draw or put them into another context of how they can appreciate and look at time as a resource in a much more practical way. So usually what I try to encourage parents to do is I try to ask them to talk about to talk about time versus productivity as a frame. Use that, time versus productivity. And in this, as a parent or as a guardian, you begin to think, okay, how can I help a young person to understand that if every day they have 24 hours of their life, it's important for them to start evaluating and gauging how productive their day goes every day. Remember, most of our children, if not all, have already a predefined environment, a conditioning within which they grow. Take, for example, if young people at home during holiday, they'll wake up and do things as far as the home has defined them. Okay, a young person could wake up, have breakfast, then sit around, go have fun with friends, go to the beach. The next day they might do the same routine, watch TV. Others might read books, others might do this and the other. These are predefined conditions. When they go to school, especially for both day and boarding school, when young people go to school, what happens? The school has already set a term. They already have timetables of how they're going to do their studies and their learning. It's pretty much a preset condition again. So this doesn't really give them so much time to think about productivity. Productivity will only come in terms of, I have to do my studies, then at the end of the term I have to write an exam and see my result, if they even think about it in that kind of sequencing. But as a parent, you can begin to educate and help a young person to appreciate that with time, there's always productivity or there is zero productivity. And how do you do that? Start by having these simple conversations. Ask a young person when they're going to have their holiday, hey, how do you intend to plan your holiday? So that against the entire set holiday of 3 weeks, they pretty much begin to populate that timeline with a few activities that they want to do. And then ask them, are you happy with that? Or do you want to rethink your plan? Help them to plan better. Help them to begin to appreciate that if in a given day I'm going to do these activities, is this time enough? Okay? And in that regard, then you try to begin to help them to build a rhythm. What do I mean by a rhythm? If a young person is the kind of person, because of either your strict routine or their pacing, that in the holiday they are going to say, I'm going to read my books. And every day they spend the entire day reading these notes, revising this work, going into this study and the like. I think that can really create a lot of fatigue, pressure, and honestly it can be boring. As a parent, if you look at a child and you're helping them to come up with some kind of rhythm, positive rhythm in their day, you might want to help them to look at the colorfulness of how this day can go. They'll wake up, have breakfast, relax, listen to music, do some reading for an hour, do some activities that are outside reading, go for fun activities, play, invite friends, go out, go for a seminar, expose them to different things. And then at the end of the day, it would really be nice, whether it's at the end of the day or at the end of the 3 days or the week, for you to sit down with them and say, hey, how did your week go? That's a light conversation. Okay? Ask them how their week went, what was so nice about the week, what was really encouraging, what are the things that didn't go well, and then for those things that didn't go well, ask them how they want to adjust that. In these dynamics, what you're trying to do is really to build a rhythm. You're asking them, number one, to kind of plan around a day. Number two, you're asking them to come up with a set of activities that they want to do. And number three, you're also asking them to think in terms of how productive their day went. Okay? So that they can see the productivity versus time. And then that begins to build in them a kind of understanding that for every hour I have or half an hour, I can either achieve this, get it out of the way and do something else. And once they begin to see the productivity behind their time, behind their day, behind their week, behind their month, it becomes a normal rhythm in their life. And I think indirectly you begin to build a consciousness in this young person about the importance of time and what you can use time to produce at the end of the day. And then in their normal given environment, it still has to coincide with the normal things that they have to do. So that then they begin to understand that if this is a subject that I need to excel in, maybe I might want to give it more time than I give this other subject that I already excel in. Okay? I might want to improve on this. I might want to pay attention to this. If you do this and you help them, a couple of years down the road, this is a completely transformed person. And at the end of the day, I think it will reflect in their results, it will reflect in their productivity, and it will have become part of their DNA and their system. And I think that is a better way of how we can build a young person into a much more productive person and build versatility in their system. Thanks for watching. And as I said at the beginning, if you really like this kind of information and you'd like other parents to receive it, please encourage them to subscribe, share this link with them so that they can also be beneficiaries. We'll see you again for another conversation.